Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for coming for Sunday Love Feast. Is anyone here for the first time today? First time on Sunday Feast, Prabhu? first time as well, welcome and thank you so much for coming. So today the topic is forgetting Krishna, the greatest crisis of life. And that is the very cause of all of us being here. But before I think commence our topic, can I ask you to come a little closer to me? I will feel more connected. Thank you. So when we seek anything valuable, for example, car, and Tesla in car, what we see is we see the video or a photo or a billboard, we desire to have it, then we strive for it, and then we eventually make plans to buy it, and then we buy it, right? So what happens is, from seeing it till the buying, to the point of buying it, what we do, we meditate upon it, we think upon it, and we continuously remember in our memory that, oh, I want to buy that car. So basically, to remember anything is our natural disposition. We like, and we automatically remember. We don't have to put efforts to remember anything. And so the same principle or the same logic applies when it comes to remembrance of Krishna. Why is that? Because Krishna is also all attractive and all purifying. So it is our natural disposition to remember Krishna also. But because of the forgetfulness of Krishna, due to the impurity in our heart, we don't see that attraction coming or the remembrance coming straight away. And so slowly that also come, and how that we are going to discuss today. So this will start, let's start with the verse. We'll do call and response. I'll recite a line and you try and follow. Shri Badarayani Uvacha Evam Vyavastito Buddhya Samadhaya Manoridhi Jajapa Paramam Japyam Praga Janma Anushikshitam Evam Sarasvato Buddhya Samadhaya Manoridhi Jajapa Paramam Japyam Praga Janmani Anukshikshitam Janmani Anushikshitam. So this verse actually spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami, he is a saint and he is the one who actually recited Bhagavatam. He has given us Bhagavatam. And it describes the consciousness of an elephant. And the meaning of this verse is that Evam Vyavasthito Buddhya. That means that the elephant fix his Vyavasthito fix Buddhya, his mind. Intelligence. Samadhayo Manoridhi. Samadhayo means, and then he concentrate Mano, mind, and Riddhi, intelligence. So then he concentrate his mind and intelligence. Then Japa Paramam Japya, and then he japs. He actually he remembers the Supreme. Praga Janmani Anukshitam. Praga Janmani. So, because he had learned in his previous birth. So, he remembers the prayers from his previous birth and he fixes the mind upon the Lord. And then, after this verse, there are a series of beautiful verses that actually an elephant reciting for the glorification of Lord. Such a beautiful pastime to meditate upon. Animal reciting a prayer. So then the question comes, okay, what is the background? How come this animal is reciting a prayer? So I'll try to summarize a very condensed version of the pastime, what happened. So there was a mountain called Trikuta mountain, beautiful mountain, picturesque landscape, beautiful valley, and in that valley there was a beautiful lake. It was so beautiful that sometimes the celestial beings, the demigods, they also used to visit there. And this elephant also went there with his family, so females and children and all that. They went there, elephant was in his prime youth. He was the king of the forest, and because he is a huge animal, and if elephant itself is the representation of power, because we can understand that, elephant use strength, power. So they went there and they were having fun. In that enjoyment mood, or in that careless having a fun mood, what happens is they forgot that there are inhabitants, they also reside in that lake. And because of this insensitivity of the elephant, there was a crocodile living in that lake who actually got hold of his leg. And then elephant because first elephant, he's a powerful animal, powerful creature. He just threw away the crocodile just by the kick, and he should be able to get out. But that actually battle went on for 1,000 years, and elephant could not get off. And then at the end he was tired. Helplessly he prays to Krishna. Then I'm not going to reveal the secret, but he helplessly prays this Krishna for saving him. There was a lotus in the lake. He picks up with the trunk, offer in the sky, and Vishnu come running on Garuda to save Gajendra. So that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of the prayer. That's the beauty of calling Krishna in a helpless mode. That's the beauty of calling Krishna in a crisis mode. So then again the question comes that he was elephant, and if we think of an animal or a human body, we are subjected to that condition. For example, we talk about tiger. Tiger is animal, so he is going to behave in a certain way. If tiger is hungry, we cannot feed him a grass, because that's not his nature. He will need flesh, right? Similarly, elephant is also an animal. So when we see, okay, how come he's offering a human-like prayer? Because human body shows the higher intelligence, evolved consciousness, which we cannot expect from animals. So then there is backstory of it. So animal in his previous life was a king, Indradyumna, and he had done spiritual practices in his previous life. He was a very devoted spiritual king, and one day he was in a meditation, and a sage called Agastya Rishi, he came there. He was in the meditation, so he could not welcome. Agastya Rishi felt insulted, and he cursed that because you acted like a dull animal, you will become an elephant in your next life. King Indradyumna, he accepted the curse without even defending himself, just, accepted the curse. Then, so that is the elephant side of story. There was a crocodile also in the story, right? Who was that crocodile? So that crocodile was Gandharva Huhu in his previous life. And he was also in a lake enjoying with his female associates. And there he was enjoying. There were in the same lake there was another sage called Devala Rishi. Devala. He was in the meditation, and in the mood of fun and having fun, enjoyment, he actually tries to pull the leg of Devala Rishi. So he breached the etiquette. Rishi are supposed to be respected, and so Devala Rishi got angry, and he cursed crocodile. He cursed the Gandharva that, you like pulling a leg, may you be the crocodile. So he becomes a crocodile. And then he realized that, Gandharva realized, I made a big mistake. So then he pleads to the sage that, please forgive me, sorry, it was my mistake. And then at the end, he says, I have given you, I have given you the curse. I can't take it back, but you will be liberated by Lord Vishnu along with the elephant. So then the pastime unfolds with the story of Gajendra, who was King Undradhunya in his previous life, and Gandharva who became crocodile. And then Gajendra come, and then Lord Vishnu come, running to save his devotee. So the verse basically describes the consciousness of an elephant before. So this is not the prayer. This is just his settling his mind before reciting the prayer. So this is just his consciousness before starting the prayer. Evam vyavasthito buddhya samadhaya manoridhi jajapa prap paramam japyam praga janmani anushikshitam evam sarasvato vyavasthito buddhya samadhaya manoridhi jajapa paramam japyam praga janmani anushikshitam. So then, when I was thinking through the pastime, the question came into my mind, like, why there is a need of a crisis in order to remember the Lord? Can we just not easily remember? Why do you have to, why there has to be a circumstance or a situation in order to remember the Lord? And then let's try and understand with the pastime of Gajendra. So Gajendra was, the name of that elephant was Gajendra. And Gajendra basically, his life, if we see, he was in the prime youth. He was a powerful creature, and he was the king of the forest. So there was a pride in his behavior. And it is easy to understand that one who possesses all these things, they'll think of themselves of something. So there was an element of a pride in Gajendra's behavior, so that he did not care about the inhabitants of a lake at the time. Another thing, because he was a powerful, dominant king and he was successful, he was so engrossed in the enjoyment of that power. So his ego was at the peak. And another thing is, he had his associates, family members and female companions. So he was forgetting that, okay, I'm having a power, I'm having a beautiful time, I'm having people around me who love me. There is no need to remember Krishna. And does that sound relatable? It happens that, we are also, when we in a peak of our life, having everything going happy-go-lucky, we don't go to Krishna that easily. We don't go to God that easily. So basically, by story of Gajendra, there are so much lessons that, we can connect with our life. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that, basically, yes, because Gajendra was thinking that he was the controller, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that devi hi esha gunamayi mama mara duratraya mam eva prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. That means devi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratya. So all of you human beings, or the people and living entities in the material world, they work actually under his energy. And that energy is very difficult to overcome. It's very difficult. But one who surrenders unto me, they swim through it easily. And that will also come in Gajendra's pastime, as we discuss further, we will see. So basically, Gajendra's behavior, from Krishna's point of view, we can understand how he was behaving like that, because he has everything. So Krishna's material energy, if he wants to forget Krishna, so be it. Krishna provides that facility to us. And then if we relate this behavior with us, then we are also like little Gajendra in our own way. we as a conditioned soul, we like to control things. I like to control my son. I like to control my family, what gets cooked in the kitchen, how my house is cleaned. If you are a bigger controller, manager in the officer, then you are controlling there. So if you are a bigger controller, then maybe managing a company. So we are all little Ishvara. Controller in Sanskrit term for controller is Ishvara. So we are all little Ishvara in that way. And so in that controlling tendency, we forget that there is a supreme controller. And because we wanted to remain a controller, Krishna let us do that. He was like, okay, if you want to be a controller, be a controller. If we want to remember him, then we need his grace. We cannot, because he says, Sarvasya chaham radishan nivishto mataha smritirgnanam apohanam cha, that I am residing in everyone's heart. Mataha, intelligence, smriti, remembrance, and apohanam cha. So apohanam, forgetfulness. Everything comes from me. So remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge, everything comes from me. So even first we should remember him, but in order to remember Krishna also we should be asking him for his grace. In order to not to be forgetful of him, we need to ask him for his grace. Shri Radhagiri Govardhan Dhari ki. So Gajendra, so basically we can say that Gajendra actually represents us. Us as in our mentality. And if we, how I said that we are little Ishwaras, but Gajendra, in Gajendra's case, he was very much stronger and so much more influential than we can compare our situation in this world. And so in the crocodile's mouth where he was trying to pull his leg from, he was actually trying so hard that, okay, first there was a pride. Okay, he's just a tiny crocodile, I should be able to kick him out. So he's flying one move, another move, different moves, and he couldn't be defeated. So it was, I was hearing a lecture from one of the sannyasi in the ISKCON Parampara called Radhanath Maharaj, and he refers that it was like a tournament match, where one's like, okay, the elephant is so powerful, he is going to kick the crocodile out. The other moment we will see, oh no, crocodile is going to pull the elephant in the lake. And so the situation, it was like a tournament, how it's India-Pakistan cricket match, and this game just spontaneously. There is so much excitement in the crowd that who is going to win, and so it was like that. And so what does that situation represent? The situation represent is inescapable crisis. What are the crises are we facing? We are facing the crisis of death, which can come anytime. And so he was in the jaws of crocodile, fighting with crocodile for a long time. And because the fight was happening in the lake, and water was not a natural habitat for an elephant. His natural habitat is a land. So he was getting weaker and weaker, and crocodile was getting stronger and stronger because of the environment that he is in. And Saint Radhanath Maharaj actually compares that situation. We know the pastime of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj, right? So we know in that pastime what happens is that Nrsimhadev come from the pillar, and then he rip apart Hiranyakashipu. And it is described in Bhagavatam that before actually Nrsimhadev ripped apart Hiranyakashipu, there was a fight between them also. And in that little fight, it was like Nrsimhadev letting Hiranyakashipu win. That, okay, I can kick you, I can do this. So that proud Hiranyakashipu becomes more proud. It is like fight of a cat and mouse. When cat and mouse they fight, it is like one is always, others, one time cat running behind the mouse, mouse running behind it is like, they are running after each other. If cat chooses to eat the mouse, it can easily do it. But cat also likes to play with mouse. So sometimes she derives a pleasure like that. So Nrsimhadev also wanted to derive a pleasure in that sense, that pastime happened that way. So basically, Hiranyakashipu was not winning. He was just under the illusion that he is winning. And we are like that. Mayadhyakshana prakriti suyate sacharachara. We are all under the influence of the Krishna's energy, and we think that we are the controller, we are the doer, and that is the illusion. The illusion arises because we are forgetting that Krishna is the supreme controller. So now crocodile, that's what does crocodile's grief represent? It represents, as I said, it represents the death. How? Because of our karma, because of our suffering, consequences of our past action, we are all going close to death every day. And what other thing it represents? It represents that regardless how much of power you have, when the time of a final moment comes, nothing works. Another thing that it represents, that regardless how many loving family members you have, when the time of departure comes, no one can help. At the most, they are there for you for some time, and we have to fight our own battle. That's the reality of life. I'm not trying to, scare anyone here, but that's the existential reality, basically. And there is a Vaishnava poet named Govinda Das Kaviraj. He actually, in his bhajan, Bhaja Hore Manashi Nandanandana, he explains this situation very nicely. The bhajan is, the paragraph is like that. Idhana yobana putra parijana ite kiyate parati tire jivana dala mala kamala dala jala jivana dala mala bhajahu hari padani tire. He sings E dhana, money, yovana, youth, putra, family, descendants, parijana, family. Kite ki aathe par titire. That what is the assurance that they are giving that they are real happiness of my life? Kamala dala jala jivana talamala. So have you seen a lotus petal in the pond? And it is a surface which is like a waxy. And if there is a droplet on the water, if there is a droplet on the lotus petal or on the lotus leaf, it doesn't wet the surface. At the same time, it is never steady. Just a slow breeze comes and the droplet falls down in the water. So our life is like that water droplet. That it can be gone at any time. This is Govinda Das Kaviraj saying. So Dhana Yovana Putra Parijana. They are there, but they are not a real happiness because my life is like the droplet on the lotus petal. So then what that question comes, that what changed the proud mode of Gajendra to the mode of offering a prayer. In order to offer a prayer, you cannot be proud, because in order to offer a prayer, one needs to be humble. And humility and pride don't go together. So, because he was fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting for 1,000 years, and he's seeing that he is not winning, do we think that he's fighting Gajendra, he's giving up because he wanted to be saved? Or do we think that because he realized that the jaws of crocodile is actually the unending reality of my karma? Right? Because he was a spiritual person, he was a devotee in his previous life, he regained his memory. That the life that I'm trying to enjoy is actually No, Krishna is the proprietor of everything. He is the control over everything. So he's not asking for life there. He's not asking, save me. He had the remembrance that Krishna is the supreme controller, and in that memory he plucked the lotus and offered it to God. He's not asking to save himself. So that, till now we hear this, we have the impression that, oh, he was devotee, he was fighting for a life, he asked for it and Krishna saved his life. Krishna saved his life, of course, but he didn't ask for it. He was just offering a prayer out of for the intention to have connection, for the intention to remember Krishna, not to save his life. So yes, then we know, okay, Gajendra remembered his previous life. So what does that say? That whatever devotional service that we do, we carry it through the lifetimes. It does not end in one life. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that himself, that neha vikramanasho vasti pratyavayuna vidyate swa alpam api dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. That means whatever spiritual activity that we do in this life, we carry in previous life. And when Krishna says it, it's just not saying it, he proves it. Example is we just heard Gajendra, right? He did some spiritual activity to him previous life. Gajendra remembered, regained his memory, he offered the prayer, and Krishna was there, coming running towards him. So Prabhupada actually the verse that we recited a few times, it is in Bhagavatam Canto 8. In that purport, actually Prabhupada explains this very nicely. I just want to read it instead of paraphrasing in my word. So Prabhupada says, therefore it is imperative that all devotees in Krishna consciousness practice chanting some mantra. Certainly one should chant Hare Krishna mantra, which is Maha Mantra or a great mantra. But one should also chant practicing Chintamani Prakara Shadmashu or a Nashimat Stotra. Everyone should practice in order to chant some mantra perfectly, so that even though he may be imperfect in spiritual consciousness in this life, in his next life, he will not forget Krishna consciousness, and even if he becomes animal. So you don't forget, regardless the type of life you get. Animal, he became an elephant, but he remembered. He has the animal body, but the consciousness was human-like. And that gives a profound understanding that what is the qualification to become a devotee? Do you need a human body? Gajendra proves it wrong. What is the qualification to become a devotee? Do you need to be a beautiful person? No. We have an example of Kubja. Kubja was a hunchback, ugly lady. She was the devotee of Krishna. Is age the criteria to become a devotee? Prahlad Maharaj, he was a 5-year-old boy. Dhruva Maharaj, he was a 5-year-old boy. So the age is also not a criteria. Beauty is not a criteria. Human body is not a criteria. Do you need to grow up in the right environment? No, Prahlad Maharaj again is the example. His father was demoniac. He was trying and making plan to kill him every day. So you don't need to have a family. Right? Do you need to be born in a demigod? No. The Vritrasur, he was a devotee in the body of a demon. And in previous sessions of our Sunday Feast class, His Grace Viraj Krishna Prabhu nicely talked about his prayers. Very beautiful classes. So basically, then what is required to be a devotee? What is required? And the key ingredient to be a devotee of Krishna is just the mood. Is the desire to remember, is the desire to connect with him. That is the key ingredient. Bodily conception is not the criteria. Beauty is not the criteria. Age is not the criteria. Family is not the criteria. Krishna is proving through various examples in Bhagavatam and compasses all the stories. Because it prepares us. So it says that Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to live in this world, and Bhagavatam teaches us how to leave the world. So it is a perfect scripture to meditate upon. So Yes, sorry. So yes, I was saying that prayerful, what is the key ingredient? Key ingredient is basically the prayerful mode, the desire to connect with Lord, and then God looks after us. In the elephant case scenario again, what attracted Krishna in that elephant? As I said, that what attracted it was the prayer that he offered in a sheer desperation. That sorry, I've forgotten you, and here is I'm remembering you. So then, because we are talking about prayer, I think let's just try to connect with our practical life. What to pray, how to pray, or what are different types of prayer. So, the different types of prayer, and the Bhagavatam is full of prayers, and each prayer represents different modes. So one of the type of prayer is offered in a mode of sorry. Sanskrit term is Dainya Bodhika. Basically, that prayers are when devotees are praying in the mode of cleansing heart. That I am born as the human form of life, but I have forgotten you. Please Krishna help me. Manushya janma paya, Radha Krishna na bhajiya. And all such prayers are generally offered. Or the examples that I could think of are basically our senior acharyas in the parampara. They have written beautiful bhajans. We have just recited one, Jivana Dalamala, or Kamala Dalamala Jivana Dalamala. Like that. Then other type of a prayer is basically Lalasamai. Sanskrit term is Lalasamai. But basically when we are asking something. An example that I can think of is Kunti Maharani. You know, when after the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna was leaving Hastinapur, and as Krishna was about to leave Hastinapur, Kunti Maharani actually runs behind him and offers beautiful sets of prayer. It comes in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where she said that, okay, I am a female, I am less intelligent, tell me, how can I serve you? You know, Krishna, you are inside as a Paramatma, and you are outside there helping and helping us. So what can we do to remember you? So such prayers are called, because she is asking, such prayers are called Lal Samai prayer. Then another type of prayer is just to listen. So after offering prayer, when we listen to God's response, which may come to us in so many different ways. So that is another factor in understanding the technicality of a prayer. And then another last prayer is Samprarthnatmika prayer, Sanskrit term again. But basically it means it's a complete prayer. So first you seek for the forgiveness. No, first you praise the Lord, then you seek for the forgiveness, and then you ask for a service. So complete package. It's called Samprarthnatmika prayer. And so prayer is connecting to the Lord, talking to the Lord. It is, now if you think of a prayer, it is not a word that we have just learned. You know, we have grown up, most of us are from Indian background, pretty much all of us. But regardless of background, prayer is there in other faith also. And so prayer could be very personal. At the same time, it can be offered together with everyone. And when we offer the prayer, it's just not only talking and connecting, it's also about reciprocating. When you say someone that I love you only is not enough. You have to show it by your action, right? That you actually love the person. So then it means that, I give you an example. When someone wants to win a lottery or a lotto, if I just desire I want to win a lotto, can I win it? No, I have to buy a ticket for it, right? Similarly, when we offer a prayer, we have to actually show our willingness to do something for God. Another thing is, we have to remember that God is not our order supplier. Oh Krishna, facing this difficulty, please help me go through it. Krishna will help. Oh Krishna, I am desiring to pass in my examination. Or oh Krishna, I'm finding difficulties with my health, or I'm finding difficulties in my family life, whatever reason could be. But He is not our order supplier, so we have to remember that also. He is God. So we can't force upon God that give me that to me, or we can humbly request, and then we wait, and then He will give us if He desires. And in that also we need to have to understand, sometimes what happens is, we have our own perception to how to receive things. For example, if we have asked that, okay, my son do very well in his life, and my understanding of doing a very well in life, in doing good with studies, or having materially prosperous life, or things like that, right? Krishna is probably giving that to me already, that doing a very good in life, maybe becoming a devotee of Krishna, staying in the association of Krishna, or devotees of Krishna, going out and talking to people about Krishna. So what I'm trying to say is, the perception of result is not always the way we think we get it. So we need to be open to see that Krishna is probably already giving me those things that I'm longing for. So He already reciprocates. What we need to change is just our perception. So in the past time, it's nearly an Aarti time, I'll just reconcile everything, and if we have any questions, then we are open for discussion. So three key lessons that we can take from today's discussion. That crisis, when we face life crisis, is the actually call to wake up. It's a call for a divine call for a wake up. And so the comfort and the success that we have in this world, what does it do? It actually creates a spiritual amnesia. We forget. The comfort and the luxuries of this life makes us forget Krishna. And when things like that comes, if we have that spiritual intelligence, like Gajendra, that we pick up, and this is the time Krishna is asking me to think differently, this is the time Krishna is asking me to surrender, this is the time Krishna is asking me to connect with Him. And we all go through such circumstances in life. It is just we need to think, reflect and introspect. Another lesson is the futility of material resolution. The story teaches that our strength, our intellect, our worldly support system, that is family or whoever, they cannot save us from the ultimate challenges. And the last point is the power of helpless surrender. So when true heartfelt prayer is offered, then Krishna recognizes that. In Draupadi Vastra Haran pastime, when she was being pulled out, her sari was being pulled out, first she tries to actually, hold herself and save herself. And she couldn't do that, and at the end she raise her hand in the air, and that's when Krishna provides unlimited saris. So that means it is not, we need to recognize that on our own we can do nothing or very little. The mood of surrender is we need to cultivate, we need to develop, and that comes with practice. As we hear more, we chant more. Shri Shri Radha Giri Govardhan Dhari Ki. As we hear more, we practice more. And as I read from the purport, we need to remember some prayer. In class this morning, Her Grace Vaidarbhi Mataji was saying that what happens if this situation come to me and if I haven't remembered any prayer? Even though I have a desire, when we can, maybe it's a good idea to start learning. Start learning simple verses, simple prayers, whatever we feel inclined towards. And as we start learning, because Krishna reciprocates, it's not a one-way thing, we will be inclined to learn more. And that's how the relationship develops. That's how the relationship develops. It is there, it just we need to revive it basically. Okay, so I'll stop here. If anyone has any question or comment or would like to add anything.
It was lovely. The talk was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you could please tell us where to find those prayers that you mentioned again.
The verse that we just recited?
There were 3 prayers.
Yes, I can tell you, Mataji. So I think one of the mantra is Mahamantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Basically, I have my beat bag. We chant on mantra on a beat bag every day. If someone is new, they can start with one. If you feel inspired, you can start with more than one. So each mala actually, each round includes 108 beats. So one round is 108 times of chanting of the name of the Lord. So that's one mantra, and regardless if you know or other, but this mantra for this Kali Yuga, in the Kali Yuga is the recommended method. Is the recommended method by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna himself. Another prayer that Parpat mentioned is Nrsimha prayer, which we will recite today at the end, and I can share you the link if you want to. I think one more prayer, Ishvara Parama Krishna. That prayer is actually a prayer by Lord Brahma, beautiful verses. And if you Google Brahma Samhita, those verses will come up as well. Yeah. And then in YouTube, there are devotees who have recited those prayers. So you can find how to sing as well. Yeah. Anyone has any more comment? No?
If the prayers are very long, how to remember them?
It comes with practice, Mataji. We can go slowly because Brahma Samhita, for example, has so many verses. Maybe one verse every day, or until you remember one verse for a week. We all have different abilities, right? I've heard devotee actually putting the print of the prayers in front of the kitchen splashback. So when you are in the kitchen, the prayer is in front of you. And then you can sing and recite. I've also heard devotees recommending putting the printouts of prayer in bathroom, in shower. Because you are there, you are supposed to remember Lord. And that's the best time. You know?
I actually put it on a speaker. So that's
yes, I've heard, yes, that's also true. I've also heard that way. And if it's a long prayer, start with one verse. And as you get familiarized, repetition is the only way, Mataji, that helps. Yeah. Any other question? Okay. Let's all rise up for the Aarti. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, गीतोपनिषद की,